I think losing my grandmother, and then it was many years later, then my father, and then my mother. So the loss of that segment of my past was a defining moment for me, because it forced me to do more on an independent level, because I didn't have my support team with me anymore. Mm-hmm. Even though my mom didn't raise us, but I could always write her, I could always talk to her, or, if I needed to. And you always keep in touch with your mother. You always let your mother know what's going on in your life. We were raised in an environment where family was everything, and that was passed on. My grandmother helped my dad by keeping us some years of our lives. So it's always been sacrifice for the family. And that's some of the things that, for most of my kids and grandkids, those that are mine, I see those evidenced. They still look out for one another, even though they may not want to. It may not be the thing that's first on their mind. They'll still, give it a try. They'll still try. I've always wanted a large family. And I think the thing about it is when they become adults, even though they've got this base and a good foundation laid, or what you thought was a good foundation, they become independent, which is fine. That's good for growth. And then any input that you have has no value to them. But I think that's the only thing. They kind of move more with society today than when we were growing up. We stuck more with family. They stick more with electronic devices, their BFFs and things of that sort. And family doesn't exist, not the way we define culture, or in our growing culture, the way we define family. Their family is all of those outside of the ones they grew up with. My grandmother let me go in the kitchen and when she was cooking and help her. And then I started doing certain things on my own. So when we have a really good breakfast, it's going to consist of bacon, eggs, grits, and biscuits, or pancakes, or it would be smothered potatoes and bacon and biscuits and syrup. Red rabbit syrup in particular. That seems to be something that we learned, and that was carried down from our childhood, and banana puddings. Mm-hmm. But I can recall growing up, my dad made the banana puddings. And the big granite cookware that the roasting pans, he would make one of those full. And it was just three of us, my sister, my brother, and myself. And he'd let us eat as much as we want. That was so much fun. Yeah. But there were certain things he could really do good. He could fix bananas, pudding real good, and he could fry chicken really good. Mm-hmm. Season and everything, and fish. I've always been involved in religion, but it's just that I never could find one that could help me to understand the Bible, help me to understand the nature, the true nature of God, not just the concept of somebody to worship. I went to the Baptist church, this little Pentecostal church that was down the corner. My dad's Lovia and always sent us somewhere where there's a church, simply because it said we worship God. She didn't know anything about it. She never went. She didn't read her Bible, but she felt it was her obligation to expose us to religion and finding out about God. She felt that was important, but she didn't do it herself. But as you learn your scriptures, you'll learn that the principles that they told you, the things they told you, it actually came from the Bible. It's just maybe that was the not the interpretation, but the translation of the Bible at the time they grew up. We didn't understand that they changed the translations as the language changed. So they used to tell you different things, and they call it mother wit or old folks tales, but they really were principles, ways to conduct yourself, ways that you should treat other people, treat yourself. Those things, those kind of values are very important. And those are the things I would like for all of my family. I don't care how they feel about me, but learn to apply in their lives, and they'll be a happier people.